There was a lot of discussions lately about the Appstores and their charging of 30% of the sales for apps that applications that sell through the App Stores, mostly both in the iPhone App Store and also in the Android App Store. Most of the discussion was around whether 30% is justified, it's too much, and also about the fact that they have a lot of control, so they can kick you out of the App Store. This session, I want to scan both the pros and cons and the processes going behind the App Stores. So as someone who tried to publish applications and websites in the past as a solo developer as side projects, I can greatly understand the benefits of the App Store as a place to publish your work, get visibility on it, and have standard payments. People are much more reluctant to pay directly an app. They fear entering their credit card details, but on the app stores, I have bought a few apps. I didn't really fear the process of entering my credit card because it was already built in the App Store, and I trust Google and Apple on this, and many like me, and I'm sure many others are buying applications, sometimes even subscriptions over the App Store. Some other benefits is that it's providing the developers with standard SDK to integrate with. So while if you wrote your own application or your own website, at least in the past, needed to do some gymnastic development in order to get payment, integrate PayPal. Today it's much more, it's much easier with Stripe and other services. But in the past there was involved some gymnastic, and also today when someone approaches your website and he needs to pay either via PayPal or credit card, and it's a little bit of hassle. So you take this 30% payment that developers need to make on any sale and reduce it maybe by 2% on all days, so it's already becoming 28% of the punishment to the developers. It's possible to claim that they should not get 30% of each sale, but only a constant monthly or yearly subscription. But I know also from personal, I know that people got a new marketplace to sell things through on the App Store, rather than website where we need to do all the marketing on our behalf. So while these giant companies control the app marketplace, it's sometimes harder to publish to the web, but there is an advantage and disadvantage to everything. So if you put something in the App Store, you're now under control. If you put something on your own on the web, then we are now under our control with all the benefits and disadvantages that come. So it's probably best to utilize both methods. Also, there is the benefit of getting standardized rating and reviews from the users. These things should come to the web, but here we have a trustworthy, at least in many places. Before we download an app, we look at ratings, but before I usually pay for an app on my MacBook, then I use it, I try to use it, and only afterwards I'm willing to pay for it if it was beneficial for me. Also, there is the concept of the refund on the App Store. So it's a little bit hard, but at least in the Google Play Store, it's possible to get a refund like 10 or I think or 15 minutes after downloading the application. So there is some standardization. I'm not sure it's fully worth the 30%, but it's worth a few percent of this. So the Play Store is some kind of an infrastructure for developers to create applications and then utilize all this infrastructure. In this infrastructure, they get customers, they get APIs to integrate with for payments, they get other APIs, they get reviews, they get standardization of contact point. When you look in an app, you know what is the contact point, you have an email, you have the company. It's very much standardized. It's worth at least a few percent. So the App Store is the infrastructure for developers to publish applications, just as the web is the infrastructure for developers to publish websites. And the PC, personal computer, was an infrastructure for people to write on top of OS or for the OS. And the OS was an infrastructure for people to write applications for the OS. And the basic computer was the infrastructure. The hardware was the infrastructure for computers to rise. And today, it's, except for the top going apps, it's pretty much a game over for solo developers because there is just a ton of apps today. So it doesn't look like a great place unless this is something very natural for something to be an app, but otherwise it could be a website. And I think the next stage is going to be, it's already happening. The next stage, we had the hardware as an infrastructure, we had the operation systems, the web as infrastructure, the app stores. And now we have some platforms as infrastructure like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Those are the new platforms for users and customers to publish their work. And their work is reviews of products, publishing their views on different things. And just like this podcast, it's on an infrastructure of podcast in order for someone to hop on and publish his views on programming. So this was a brief overview to our thoughts on the App Store, the 30% debate, and in general, the infrastructures and what people are building on top of them. Thank you for listening and see you guys next time.